Hey everybody, this is KQBH 101.5 FM, broadcasting live off of Brooklyn Avenue in the beautiful city of Boyle Heights, California. How are we doing, everybody? This is the fourth Monday of the month, and you know what that means? What does that mean?
What does it mean? I'm
It
here.
means that you are here, Becky, and you actually came on the right day today.
I've been here all month.
All month.
That's it. I'm going home.
No. You have been here all month, and it's actually been. I could not. I'm so glad you were here on your off week because there's no way I could have bounced like what 675 people last
Five.
week
Yeah.
with Negrazulska.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a fantastic one. And no, so thank you for accompanying me on that one. And besides, I think that one was definitely catered for both of us. So we're gonna have a good one. Becky, tell everybody what's gonna be going on tonight.
Well, we have a mystery guest for you guys. Unless you already seen who's gonna be here, but we'll be talking comic books, and may the 4th be with you.
Yeah. So we have a returning guest, and not only has our guest been on my programs here a few times, he's also participated as a guest on other programs here at the station.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, before we cut into some songs, so let's Peter, let's check your microphone, make sure that you're good to go and you're on.
Yeah. You're good?
Yeah, you're good. I hear you.
Good. All right.
You hear yourself pretty good in there?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So thank you for being here. It's like B said, we're gonna talk. We're gonna catch up with you as a small business owner, and it's that season, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Free comic book day.
Free comic book day.
Yep.
We got Star Wars May the 5th, and then we got the Sith
Yeah.
Day, and all that stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of good pop. There's a lot of good pop culture celebrations going on. And I think we here in the San Gabriel Valley area, I think there's something that we must lament since we are going to talk about comic books. So we'll get into that later. So this hour, I'm hoping to throw down some new soldies and just some pop, keeping it independent as we always do. So we're definitely going to be exploring new independent music because there were some good things that came out. So I'm hoping to get a lot of it out.
Yes.
There's a new Cal I want to get out. I'll get that Sinclair that's been eating up all the airwaves really good. But you know what? I think what I want to get into tonight, we're gonna get it started, everybody, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to. This is a man of many hats. All right, we got comic book owner, we have independent comic book writer. You were part 1/3 of a team behind Gordo, the Teenage Flying Saucer, and con organizer. I mean, there's a lot. But we're gonna come back. And we're going to reintroduce ourselves to Peter Mellini because Becky has mentioned today. So we got to get. And this is Ham Radio Family. And this is really what it is. It's Ham Radio Family tonight, everybody. We're going to be back here at KQBH 101.5 FM. But let's get into some U2D and K with Turned Up.
B,
What's going on? You know what? I know when we get together, people want to hear your 7 minutes. But we're going to spoil it. And like I said, there's going to be no 7 minutes because we're going to focus on our guest.
mystery
tonight.
guest.
Mystery
that
guest,
we need
our
to
mystery
meet
guest.
to know about.
But before we get into that, we just finished listening to Jamie, Feel My Love, which was taken from The Function Part 2, which is Jamie's, for the last 3 EPs, consistently, she has been knocking it out with the last 3 EPs. And again, that's just more proof right there. Feel My Love. And then we heard 2D and K with Turned Up to get us started in our hour. Trying to just kind of get moving and everything. So before we left, B, who did we introduce? Our mystery guest.
Mr. Peter.
Mr. Peter Mellini.
Yeah.
How's it going? You know what? Today, like I said, you're a returning guest.
Mm-hmm.
But today, what I really want to talk about is get ready for, because I know this is big business for you.
Yeah.
And this is also for all us nerds and
Oh, yeah.
geeks and dorks and dweebs and spazzes and all the good stuff.
Everything in between.
On
Many
everything
names.
in
Jeez, the list goes
between.
on.
It does. I say it out of love, man. And we've been at the forefront, and we've invaded all types of families and backgrounds and everything. Right? No. Oh no. Seriously though. So, give us a real quick recap of you as a successful business owner, small business owner. From you yourself are from here in East LA,
Yeah.
and the business that you run as well within the San Gabriel Valley, coming out of Rosemead, right?
Yeah, we're in San Gabriel. We're in the
San
middle.
Gabriel,
Yeah.
we're in the middle.
Yeah.
So, give us a little quick brief history.
Brief
on
history?
That.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Catch us up a bit.
It's crazy. I just looked at it the other day. I think I've been doing it for like 13 years now. The store, which is like crazy. It doesn't feel that long, you know.
Well, no, and actually last year I believe we came in and we talked about
Yeah.
the 12-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And how you had the exchange of powers
Yeah.
between the shop and everything. And now there was one thing, and if you have any questions, feel free to jump in. Okay. I know we threw so much at you in the beginning. We're all like, this is this and this and that and that and that. So. So one of the things I really wanted to cover is the San Gabriel Valley. I know the San Gabriel Valley holds a lot of significance to us old heads, us old nerds, us triple G nerds in the game here. It's always been, and I know we've talked about this at the shop and everything like that, with crews. The significance.
Yeah.
What's the significance to you personally with the shops here in the
That's
valley?
always where the shops were, man. Like I feel like it kind of sucks to think that way, but like outside of you really had to go to like Alhambra, Pasadena, or even San Gabriel. Was it Gary's Corner Books?
Yeah.
And that was where all the shops were. And then like there was a good time when like there were shops that would pop up and wouldn't last a year.
Yeah.
You know, because they went too big, man. They went they went too heavy with like collectibles and whatnot. And it still kind of happens. Like I've seen it here and there, but it's kind of hard because I always tell people like that when I go to other stores, like how do I put it? Like you ever go to a store and they call it a comic book store, but you go and they have comic books.
They have comic book, yeah, but it's more.
Right.
It'll be like pop heavy, or
yeah.
it'll be whatever the trends, whatever's able to keep them afloat. Yeah.
And so like that always drives me nuts, you know. Like, and then it's funny because then we get the opposite problem where people come into the store and they're like, "Well, how come we don't have this? How come we don't have that?" And like, "Because we're a comic book store." You know?
Yeah. That is more of your focus, which I think has also been part of your success. One thing I do want to include while we're having this conversation, excuse me, I wanted to give to our neighbors, because we do have here on Whittier Boulevard, here in East Los Angeles, Boyle Heights area, we do have Legion, right? Legion comic books right here in the area. So we do have one that is local. I just want to shout that out, give that one some love, and let them know that, to remind people too, that's another proprietor, another owner who has been successful. And I can only imagine the challenges those owners have being in our area, because and the reason why I say that is because, go back to your point, when we think, because we old heads, and you said it right there, sometimes shops would pop up and then they'd be gone, or they'd be too focused heavy on something. And we used to have a lot of shops that would come and go right here on Atlantic, on Whittier, all up in these areas, and it would, sometimes it even got to a point where I didn't even want to go because I don't want to be hurt again.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because really it was, we had to get out.
Yeah.
We had to ask our parents to drive us, to get us into the valley, to go buy comics or Whittier or whatever.
Yeah.
So the significance of was there a significance when, you know, talking about the switch of ownership? Did that ever happen to come into your mind? Like,
I mean,
or did that come later?
I mean, kind of, because I think I always thought it was really interesting was, especially when we started doing Cape. I think it was the second year, we had people coming to the store, and they were like, "Oh, I'm at the Cape store."
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
and then there was people that they knew about it like in that area.
Yeah.
They knew about Cape, so it was cool. You know what I mean? So that kind of also showed that like that people were coming out this way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
'cause it's weird because I've spoken to people that are from East LA that discover the store.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I used to go to a Golden Apple before." I'm like, "Dude, all the way over there."
That's far.
That's a drive, man.
But that plays into some of the struggles
Yeah,
of
there you
the
go.
comic books or whatever.
Yeah.
The struggle's real.
No, it was.
Yeah.
No, since you bring it up, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because first and foremost, we live in the East LA, which is predominantly, it's all Mexican American, it's all, it's all Latinos of all kinds. And sometimes, comic books aren't an essential, it's not necessary. So it was always a challenge having stores here because it was like,
For what?
and
Yeah.
then it was a place to go. And not only that, again, it also speaks to the safe space. It was a safe space for us.
Yeah.
So, and then having him go in and out like that, and then having to have people travel
Yeah.
to take us, it's kind of funny because us nerds have always been around.
Yeah.
We've always been pestering. So, but no, it hurts when there wasn't anything,
Yeah.
nearby that was sustainable.
Oh yeah. I mean, we get what 2-3 comic movies a year now.
Yeah.
We used to get like one every 3-4 years.
Every 4 years, yeah. And you know what? Let's go back to Cape.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are tuning in for the first time, what is Cape? Talk to us about Cape. Let's speak on that for a moment.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Cape was a show we put on in East LA. We were right in the middle of what was it Chavez and was it Ford?
Yeah, at the
Ford and McDonald around there.
at Donald Gallo.
And at Gallo Plaza. And we did that what, 3 times.
There was 3 physical ones.
There's 3 physical. Yeah. And we were planning a 4th one, and then the pandemic hit.
Yeah. And then East LA Cape stands for
The comic book.
It was comic book. It was comic books.
Comic books,
Art,
pop culture,
Pop
expo.
Culture Expo, and we originally had our first show. It was East LA Comic Con.
Yeah.
Okay, and so East LA Comic Con is where we had our birth. So Peter is the person who formed his team, which included Peter, Mr. Enrique Cruz, who we all met a couple of weeks ago, and Peter is half of Comic Centric.
Mm-hmm.
We had who else on the show that we've had? It was myself, along with your partner, and I'm gonna do the Gilligan's Island. No disrespect to everybody, and the rest. No disrespect to Rudy and and Mari and everyone, and so that's how we started. And what was? Speak on the mission that we had, because this was a mission. You got everyone together. So what was the mission?
The idea was it like we had talked about the same thing. We're like we'd have to leave East LA to get comics,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt that like we never had a show in the area. We never had a local show.
No, never.
And so that was the idea. And I remember it was kind of crazy because I think we announced it. We announced that we were doing it.
Yeah.
Before we even had a venue or anything.
Yeah, I think I think there was just like some social media.
But all the
posts.
interest was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Because usually they're in San Diego, right?
Well, yeah.
The
well,
bigger ones or
Well,
whatever?
we look at the big ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
in San Diego, and it's not just that. It's they're not our challenge. Our we didn't have that. Wasn't really a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to challenge not challenge the other organizations. We wanted to challenge the concept that we can have a comic book event in a neighborhood like this that was free, that brought the whole family in. And I'm talking about the whole family. It was meant to bring in grandma.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to bring in everybody, because our
The
brain-
Latinos run deep.
Exactly. And not only just that, but to really have our family understand the culture, to understand the environment, to understand it was just more than whatever, like some of the negative connotations we used
Like a
to
cartoon
get-
magazine.
Oh yeah, like anything that you could
Yeah.
think that.
Yeah.
So, but our point was to have it in to have it in the barrio, to have it in
Yeah.
here in the ghetto, to have it on Brooklyn Avenue,
Yeah.
to have it adjacent to some cool spots where people can go, in a historic building, and all these things that we thought of. But being able to have a free event where everybody can go.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you feel as we look at it, how do you feel we accomplished?
I think we did really well, man. Because I mean, to this day, we still get people ask, when is it coming back? And
When is it coming back?
I don't know. It's
It's-
just, we lost the venue,
Yeah.
Oh.
and it just became. I think that's our biggest obstacle right now.
The one thing that we wanted to we said that we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot
Yeah.
by saying it's in East LA.
Yeah.
But because we're from East LA, so we're gonna really be hard headed and be like, nah, we
It
want to
has to
keep
be
it.
here.
It has to
Yeah.
like it could be on this side of Brooklyn. That's cool,
Yeah.
but again, we kind of because I'm thinking on a mainstream aspect.
Yeah.
Boyle Heights, East LA has always been lumped in, and I know it's made it
Yeah.
has like this everyone has a side on that. So in a mainstream way, it was like, yes, let's have it East LA because East LA encompasses such a huge area, and sometimes in a general sense, people see it
Mm-hmm.
the way they're going to see it. Outside of the surrounding area. So we were like, did we shoot ourselves in the foot?
Yeah, a little bit.
Possibly, but that doesn't mean we're not willing to explore other parts of the area.
Yeah.
But I think where we're saying we shot our foot is in the sense that Algayo Plaza to me was a very like this building, like the whole building we're in, the whole Paramount Ballroom. My other second favorite building that'll hold in my heart is at Algayo Plaza because
Yeah.
it used to be the morgue. Yes, right next to the
Yeah.
church. It used to be a morgue. So that and a lot of us had family go through that. That was their last place to go through. The last time, that was the place that made our family look beautiful for the last time. And there's a lot of significance in that building. And there was actually remember I told this story about that older man?
Yeah.
So I have a connection to that building just for other reasons again, kind of that are similar to why I like here in the ballroom. And there was this older gentleman. He had to be in his 80s. Talks to me. We're talking. And he was part of the culture. And he was already in the 70s, maybe about 80s. And he was a GG. Like he never thought he'd see this.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how he saw his mom and people go through that building and showed me the space and stuff.
Yeah.
And he said that his mom would have loved seeing
Yeah.
what we did that first year.
Yeah.
Um,
That first year was crazy.
it was crazy. It was a heck of crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that one exchange
Mm-hmm.
did it for me.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it. Even if it was the only banger we did for that year and never did it again, it was
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Talking to that one guy because it was like he came out of he came out of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
he was just like he thanked us for what we did,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a lot of response that way. Because another thing that we're gonna be boastful, dude. Let's fudge
do
it.
it.
We're on the topic, man. Seriously, because not only another thing that occurred was so many independent local artists.
Yeah.
Showed up.
Not only did they show up, we were able to make them come out.
Yeah.
Man, they did the one show. That was their first event. Maybe
Yeah.
their first event vending. Their first time throwing down a publication, man.
I have an artist coming for Free Comic Book Day, and the first East LA show was her first show, and now that's her job. That's all she does is do shows.
That's a blessing in itself. Yeah.
And we didn't. That was something that was a byproduct of the whole event. That wasn't
Yeah.
something that I was thinking about. That wasn't something that I was like, oh, this was the plan.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we just wanted.
I mean, my big thing too, I think we talked about it, was that we wanted to have a lot of independent creators.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the artist was a big thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I really wanted to have people that had their own comic books,
Yeah.
their own, like, you know, like, cause we had people requesting stuff that was like, you know, like bigger companies or whatever. And I was like, no, like, you know, let's spread it out to, like, you know,
Yeah.
cause I think we had, was it Full Moon Features,
Which was cool.
which was cool because they're technically an independent.
They're an independent.
Yeah, so
they're long run. So we did have some,
Yeah.
and the one thing that I did like is we did have some commercial independent.
Yeah.
Um.
The Lucha Underground.
Yeah. We had the Lucha Underground was
Yeah.
there. We had Mr. I forget the name of the gentleman who runs Full Moon.
Oh
Excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So yes, we had Full Moon. We had Lalo
Yeah.
Alcaraz was there.
Yeah.
And that was an important year, everybody. I'm gonna point out, okay, and I've been talking about this. I don't talk about this on the show, but that particular year when we did East LA Comic Con, Lalo Alcaraz, on like that weekend before we had it, he talked about Disney
Oh,
trying to buy up the term rights for Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're not gonna find anything on it. It's all been erased from Disney. Put the little the little Men in Black light on
Yeah.
everybody, but so yeah, that was, to me, that was big because that was something that people were talking about
Yeah.
who picked up his show,
Mhm.
and that was a hot topic on the crowd,
Yeah, yeah.
and no one's talking about it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention it. So, but yeah, that was, to me, because that was a pivotal. To me, that was a pivotal moment, because it was like, here comes a big company trying to buy term rights. An independent guy with his big platform spoke on it. So we were like, yes.
Mhm.
And because that was, that to me, I was like, okay, we had a small creator kind of throw the sand on that
Yeah.
one, and the fact that it was right before our thing,
Yeah.
I thought made it kind of a cool thing to have occurred, and to it have been a topic on that particular event.
Yeah.
But that's all something that I can rant on later, and that's something that I've always been mentioning, because it's so dirty. But
Oh, yeah, people still talk about it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I every time I do a show, and someone comes to me asking when's it happening,
Yeah.
and like, you know, I always tell people, man, like I want it to happen again more than anybody else.
yeah,
It's just hard, man.
it has to be at the right time.
Yeah.
Those 3 back-to-back years were the right time.
Mhm.
We do got to get on it, and there is, I feel, when we do this
Yeah.
one, why I feel it has to be on the right time. I have a feeling we're going to get other shared communities
Mhm.
that are going to participate
Yeah.
in a way that we didn't imagine. What does
Yeah.
that mean? I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. But we're going to have
Yeah.
other communities join us, and it's going to be explosive.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Watch. I don't know what that means. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what communities. I don't know.
You,
But it's going to be a blast.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, I don't know, I think I told you about this. Was it last year, 2 years ago? Somebody tried to, like, put on a show and making it seem like it was us.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
It was cute.
Until
No,
somebody,
how mean.
until
Oh
a bunch
my
of people started
God.
messaging me saying, like, hey, you guys are coming back. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And I didn't even reach out to these people. People were reaching out to them. They're like, that's not cool. Don't do that. Da, 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 da. And then they
Yeah.
changed their name.
Good. That ain't cool.
And then that guy reached out to me and was like, let's do a show together. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, right.
Liar.
No, I'm just the one being the most diplomatic.
Yeah, I was
on
like,
the whole thing.
really?
On the most diplomatic thing, but you know, yeah.
Haters.
But that showed though. That showed that, like, you know, they still want it, man. They still, you know.
No, we're gonna do it again. I think
Gotta
it's
do it again at some point,
time. I
man.
think it's time. I mean, you know what? Let's get in to a couple of songs here. So
Okay.
we're gonna get into a few songs. Maybe kind of step away for a good 10 minutes here at KQBH LP, Los Angeles, California, 101.5 FM, a community service. And it's sad to have to just like think
Yeah.
that Comics Factory
Hmm.
in Pasadena
Yeah.
on Colorado Boulevard has shut down
Yeah.
after 25 years.
31.
31 years. My bad. 31 years.
Yeah.
31 years
That's nuts.
of business. And I remember that spot when it was at its original spot
Yeah.
when it was further up Colorado. I don't remember the name of the street that it was on, the cross street, but I do know that it was right in front of Bull Liquor.
Okay,
And I know in Pasadena that's a spot. I believe that's a spot in the area to get some good deals on liquor. And I remember they were in front of what is now, I don't know if it's now, but at one point after the shop left to their location they're at now, I remember that spot. Yeah. And it was a spot that I would frequent. And it's just in general, it's another shop gone, and I have to give it to you, Peter. I'm also going to spread some of this again to the local shop here, Legion. Very, very happy to see that these shops are open. Your shop's going for those 13 years. I'm sorry, Legion, that I don't know like how long they've been open. But regardless, the fact that these two shops are still going is a testimonial to I think the culture itself. So that is kind of a bummer to see that one go. But the owner himself was an upright dude. So and he helped build a lot of people's collections, whether it be from figures and comics and manga and all that stuff. So let's press on, Becky.
He wants to cry.
Dude, man, this is one of those hours, man. This is a tearjerker.
I was talking to another shop owner about it, and I was telling her, like, it's a weird, for me at least, it was a weird mixture of emotions, because it's like, it's sad it's gone, because it was there for so long. I always tell people I was taking the bus over there when I was in junior high school to go get comics, right? It's that. It's also like scary because like if that could happen there, it could happen anywhere, right? But the other thing is, and it's kind of a weird thing, but I kind of got mad too because there's like really crappy places that are still around, like, and I mean it. I'm not trying to talk crap or anything. I'm just saying like places where like they don't treat the customers.
No, what you're saying, I think what you're saying is real, 100%. Again, what it is customer service. Yeah, and that's why
bottom line.
Always bottom line, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Nope.
That's why 31 years went strong because of the customer service.
Yep.
See, the thing is, no, you know what? No, I don't want to turn this into like a whole like thinking of like all the bad days and all the old owners. Not that. So we'll have that. We'll top that for another one.
Did he say why he closed?
No.
Usually they say,
No, he no.
He's just
I
tired.
Think maybe continue online. I don't know for sure. I don't think it's really been put out.
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen. He's probably. I mean, this is what I would do. I feel. I think you're gonna close your shop. Maybe have a couple of weeks to set yourself on pause. Yeah. Because I gotta imagine like 31 years as a proprietor of any business. I figured,
so much of
invested time. I mean that yes, exactly. So I would think. I mean, what would you do?
I would go online.
Yeah, I would maybe take it online, but I would have like a good 3-week where I'm on pause, meaning like I'm on pause, man. I got gray sweat shorts on, I got flip flops. I'm just looking like a bum, like. But
not even flip flops. You swept them off your house. You're walking around barefooted.
Yeah, I'm just there because I'm trying to adjust.
Yeah.
And who knows why that owner has to adjust. So like I gotta give it.
But it's because the economy is so expensive.
It is. There's
it
a
just
lot.
feels like a year back. Yeah. Everything just like the switch just went up, and it's like, what the heck do we all do with our life now? And like the eggs too.
Yeah,
jeez, everything's just so expensive.
So I think that's what's a big. Yeah, I think that's just.
It's the more logical thing to do. Go online.
Yeah.
You rent a storage space, $300-400, depending how big. Organize your stuff, and you're done. Yeah,
your cost goes down. So let's get into one of the things that we wanted to cover. Is it's Free Comic Book Day is coming up this next weekend. It's Saturday. Yeah. Peter, what is Free Comic Book Day, and what does it mean to you?
It's crazy.
It's
been going on for so long that it's so crazy that I still have to explain this to people.
Yeah.
Free Comic Book Day is an annual event.
It is what it sounds like.
Exactly what it sounds like. But every studio puts out a book specifically for this event. And it's usually to like promote what they have coming out, what they already have out. some people take really advantage of it, and those become like collector's items.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cool. Like, and so we have free comic books all day as long as we have them. We have a lot of local artists coming in. You know, and it's a cool day. Like, a lot of people come out. There's people that come out only on once a year.
Once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's a big event. I believe it started in 2002,
Yeah.
2001.
It
was 2001. It was
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
Spider-Man
I think
2.
it was 2001. It opened. The first comic book day aligned with the open of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Let's give credit to the man,
Yeah.
Mr. Joe Field,
Yeah.
from Cali.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of the store that he generated this, but he had an idea because he had this like article for a collectible periodical.
Yeah.
And he
So I've been trying to get into the shop forever, man.
get her.
She's a beat on Saturday. And then
Yeah.
You know, and then we have this one artist, this guy Alan Carter. That dude does like every show in LA, dude. Like,
Okay, nice.
He's always around.
It's around. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So it's going to be a good lineup.
Yeah.
They can find all the information at the socials at
Nostalgic Comic Shop.
Nostalgic Comic Shop.
Yeah.
How about you? Any last thoughts? Any last questions before we close off with some Joe ZB?
No.
No. You created enough alibi and enough material.
I'm
that-
good. Just a reminder, guys,
What?
the LA County Fair is coming to
Yes.
town. So it
Yes.
starts May 2nd through the 26th, I believe. So get your tickets. Online is cheaper, faster. Avoid the lines. Be safe. Don't drink too much while you're out there.
Nope.
And their music lineup is
It's fantastic
amazing
this year. Look up their lineup,
year.
everybody. So go ahead if you have a free
Yes.
moment. Look up.
Yes.
And the next time that you and I are going to be together, we're going to have a guest, aren't we?
Are.
Or we're gonna announce
No.
it? No?
No,
Okay.
it's a surprise.
We're gonna have a guest
But
the next
she's
time.
wow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be super nervous
Yeah.
on that one. I'm going to try not to geek out.
Nice.
But I probably will.
There you
Because
go.
it happens. Okay, everybody. We're going to say goodnight. We got CMTY Live. As I said a few moments ago, CMTY Live with Martel immediately following us right here. But if you want to hear some more Becky and get to know
Yes.
Becky a little more and a little more points of origin, I would definitely ask you guys to stay
And
at
listen.
KQBH 101.5
Yes.
FM. And go ahead and listen here. We're going to end it with the new single from Josie B. I Get Off, and this is going to be the freestyle mix. And I'm excited about this because Josie B is legend in terms of freestyle. KQBH 101.5 FM. This is Ham Radio. This is Patrick Martinez. And
Your girl B.
all right, everybody, have a good one, Peter.
Buenas
Thank you for
noches.
coming by.
Anytime, man.